after the birth of like our second daughter, he decided that he was feeling a bit neglected and he fell into the arms of another woman, shall we say. Absolutely the worst time of my life, like feeling that kind of level of betrayal. So I'd be like, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I neglected you. This is why you did it. But you know,
you're so lovely.
Yeah. And that was the first time I was actually probably really powerful and took back control of the situation.
A new mum, a young mum, like your baby was 6 months old.
Yeah.
We're so vulnerable after having children and everything changes, our body, our hormones. I don't want to feel like I'm being monitored or managed from another household. But where's the line between teamwork and control? Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah. You can't just drop that in there.
Yeah, so he's still with her.
No way.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going to have to stop.
Children.
Yeah.
We're going to have to cut the dilemma for a minute. I'm really sorry, viewers.
I did send her like a small gift and a card just to say,
I advocate for this all the time, and when it's actually here in front of me, I'm like, oh, come
Every
on.
week she's like, just if everyone could just be more
Just get
mature.
on.
would you let your ex invite his mistress to your daughter's birthday party?
You're not as kind and sweet as you make out. You know what you're doing.
Jess, come on.
I'm wrapping it up.
I'll back it. I just want you to know I'll back it. That's what?
Smile and wave.
Honestly, you're amazing.
Hi guys, I'm Kate Ferdinand and this is Blended, the podcast where we talk about the highs, the lows and everything in between in regards to a blended family. Today, I've got my amazing co-host Nathalie and an amazing guest co-host Jessica May Turner. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. So for those of you that don't know Jess, she's known online for her cleaning and design tips, but more recently for sharing her journey around being a single mum and co-parenting. And we are so excited because we're all stepmoms here and we get so many questions around co-parenting. No pressure.
No pressure.
But here she is. She's going to help us answer some questions.
The expert.
I'm going to try.
We've really built you up there.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I'll do my best.
So anyway, ladies, how are you both?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, nice
Good.
little morning. Excited to be here. Yeah, really good.
You've had your coffee?
Had my coffee. No breakfast.
No breakfast.
We were just talking about, do you eat breakfast in the morning? Like, I have to eat breakfast. I used to be someone that didn't, but now it's like my belly, it'll be rumbling constantly if I wasn't eating breakfast here.
Yeah, we know your belly's a loud rumbler.
And you see like a change in tone when I start to get hungry because I get very hangry.
Yeah.
I get like that. No, I can skip breakfast.
Can you?
Yeah, I don't like breakfast that much, but I'll have it like later in the morning. Make a smoothie like you.
Yeah. I feel like it's different for me, like depending on where I am in my cycle. Sometimes I'm ravenous and I have to eat like as soon as I open my eyes, and then other times I can just go without. But this morning I had half a smoothie that my husband made for me, and then I dropped it and it smashed everywhere, so I was late. But apart from that, I'm good. It's my birthday weekend.
Look at her. Sorry.
Everyone.
I've got to interrupt. Natalie, if you follow her on Instagram, she has been like so happy. She can't contain the smile. Look at her. It's such good vibes.
Yeah.
So tell us, you've had your birthday.
Had my birthday, spent the weekends with my friends, my family, my husband, and my stepson Cameron and his girlfriend, and it was his girlfriend's mum's birthday as well, so I ended up at her party. Forgot to mention that. And then it was our wedding anniversary, our first wedding anniversary yesterday, so we had a lovely meal, and it's just good vibes, good vibrations all round.
You know, like I'm on summer holidays.
Yeah.
I don't have the same vibes as you right now. I'm a bit like, oh my God, like fucking hell, love these kids, but what is this?
Yeah, I need a
and
break
you're
from
like,
my break.
oh my God, so happy. We're on like a bit different orbits at the moment.
It's because Cam's 19 and he's very self-sufficient. He's looking after us now. He's like
lovely,
taking the weight off, taking the load off, and I love it. I love it.
She is living the dream, isn't she?
She is, yeah.
I do feel like that.
Yeah. So I know you've got 2 kids. Tell us a little bit about you.
A little bit about me.
Yeah.
Gosh, so I have 2 children. They are 10 and 4, both girls. And we just recently moved house back in March, bought like our own house, which we're now living in, moved out of the family home, which was really exciting.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks. And yeah, I've been on social media for like 8 years, creating different types of content, mainly focusing on like home interiors and cleaning, like you said. But yeah, more recently talking about the single mum stuff, as I broke up with my children's dad sort of about 2 years ago now. And I've just been like navigating it. And I thought, you know what, like there's not a lot going on online about these things, like about people openly talking about, you know, betrayal or co-parenting and how that might look. So I thought, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to share these things and start talking about it, because why not? And I think the thing that surprises me every single day is how many people message me to say how brave I am. Like, why would I be brave to talk about these things? But I'm excited. I feel like I'm helping a lot of people, a lot of women and men as well, just by sharing my journey. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's really good.
It's amazing, and it's so well received.
It is.
I think as humans, like naturally, we're scared to show that vulnerable side sometimes, and that feels like you're being really brave when you do that. So when someone does, and you can relate to them, it feels like a weight's lifted off everyone's shoulders, I think.
Yeah.
And that is what Blended is all about. Like just talking about the things that are sometimes a little bit difficult or that some people may not understand.
Yeah.
But your audience love it. They love all of the...
They do love it. And I think what's interesting is it's not just the single mums that relate to it. Sometimes you just get families in general who can really like relate to how you're feeling, or, you know, it's their biggest fear and things like that. And I also have, you know, my audience range in age span. And so you have like some women who have been single mums for years and years and years, or you have some who are just newly single mums and they're like, this is so helpful for me because I feel like you're giving me hope and inspiration that one day I won't feel this pain anymore. So yeah, it's lovely. I really love the community that I'm building around it all. And I always say to them all that I'm just really grateful to have them like cheering me on, like so that I don't feel so alone, because it can feel incredibly lonely. Like all of my friends are all happily married. And so when you're that one friend who suddenly doesn't have a partner anymore and you're on your own, you do feel really isolated. So by sharing my story, I'm able to gain friends and build a community around me to support me, which is really lovely too.
Yeah, and people underestimate the online community.
Yeah, they do.
I was in a similar situation with Blended. Like I felt really alone in my situation, created Blended. And now it's like, it's kind of like a release.
Yeah.
And when you speak, you feel like people get it, because not everyone in your friendship circle is going to be going through what you're going through.
No, it's completely different, isn't it? And everyone's situation is unique. I think that's the part of it, is there's so many different scenarios, sort of like, you know, how you might become a stepmom, or what role you're taking within the home as the stepmom, or how you're co-parenting, or why you became a single mum. Everyone has a different story on that. So it's just nice to actually build people to like build a community and like get people together so that everyone can support each other and share it. And I think like Blended is such a good way to like describe it as well. I think I just really like that title, because that is exactly what these families are.
So beautiful.
It is.
It's like the platforms are set up now as well to really support community building, you know, like with the groups and with Patreon. And it's really lovely, because I suppose like support groups have been around for a really long time, like, as you know, going back like super far. But now the way that you can share and bring people into your life and what you're thinking, and that like vulnerability that you're brave enough to be that vulnerable, you know, brave enough to be vulnerable, that almost like gives other people permission to be vulnerable too in your groups. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I have a Facebook group as well that I set up. And I think I don't really post in there very much. I kind of just set it up and I was like, here you go. Here's somewhere for you all to kind of communicate with each other. Because obviously people come into my DMs, but they can't speak to one another. So I set it up, and I always go on there and like check what people are saying. And it's just lovely that if someone has a dilemma, then other women step up and like support them and give them advice.
Beautiful.
And I just think it's so lovely when women can do that.
Yeah.
And we are, you know, so strong in the way that we can progressively move forward in life. I think it's
absolutely. And I think what you're doing is so important, and thank you. On behalf of everyone, thank you. Because it takes like someone with a little bit of guts and strength to be open and share things that aren't perfect. So can you tell me a little bit about how you become a single mum?
Yeah, so I was with my ex-partner for, you know, about 10 years. And I lost count, to be honest, so many years. And he after the birth of like our second daughter, he decided that he was feeling a bit neglected, and he fell into the arms of another woman, shall we say, one of his co-workers. And I think this, it's a tale as old as time. It happens a lot where people lean on people in the workspace. They are friends to begin with, and then it kind of becomes a bit more as they start talking. I'm not saying this happens in every situation, but I think a lot of us have heard a story like that previously. I didn't find out for 6 months that that's what was happening. And classically, like when I did find out, he was very apologetic. It was an accident. It only happened one time. So I was like, right, well, I'll forgive you and we'll try and make this work. And, we've got 2 kids. Like my youngest wasn't even 1 at this point. So it's like, we really need to like try and save our relationship. Like we'd just bought our house and all these other things. So I, pushed through and I was like, I will get over this. It'll be fine. But I became a detective.
As we do.
I was the key. I would have been like Sherlock Holmes. Like I was awesome. In hindsight, it sent me crazy, but it sort of discovered that he didn't stop and he continued, and it went on and on and on for probably another over a year after that sort of initial finding out. And one day she called me, and like they'd had an argument, and she called me and she was just like, this is what he's been telling me. And I was like, I didn't even really think you were in the picture anymore because he told me you weren't. But in some ways I did kind of know there were like little like clues. And she was like, can I meet up with you? And so we went and met up the next day. I think we were on the phone quite late one evening because I was sort of naturally went for the bottle and had a couple of drinks. And I was like, I need you to tell me everything right now. Yeah. And she's like, no, I'll tell you tomorrow. And so I met up with her and she just confessed everything. Wow. And he'd obviously been like lying to her, but also lying to me as well. And that's kind of how he did it. So yeah, it was absolutely the worst time of my life, like feeling that kind of level of betrayal from someone who's supposed to protect you and love you and, you have children with as well. It was, devastating. And like when I look back to who I was then, like I don't even recognize her. Like it was, one of the worst times of my life. And I think the hardest bit sometimes is actually like saying, you actually have to go now. Like you've hurt me so much and I need you to leave, when you still love someone so much. Yeah. But we did it. He left. I helped him move out. And then, the rest is kind of just growth and moving forwards. So it's been a journey. Wow. It's been a journey.
Did he continue trying to manipulate you both when it all came out, or did he just kind of hold his hands up and say, okay, gig's up now?
Well, after her and I had met with one another? It's hard to say. I don't think he did. I think he was very lost and very confused. I think he was very torn in the fact that he obviously had very, very strong feelings for her, but he also really cared about me and the life that we had. And he knew that he was going to lose all of that should he step away. So I don't think he was necessarily manipulating, but he was trying to play things where it was sort of like, well, I'm going to stay living in the house and I'm going to stay here, but we're not together kind of thing. And I went along with that for a bit. But
how long is a bit?
Probably like 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't kick him out of his house.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Can you not?
No, I can't even stop. I couldn't even stop him from coming into the house. Like he could. It's his
so
house.
you would have to leave.
Yeah, if the police were involved, because he owns half the house. If the police are involved, they would tell me that I would have to let him in.
Wow, that's what I mean. There's so much to this, isn't there? There's like the initial betrayal and what you're having to go through, but then you can't force someone to leave a house. I've not really thought of that. I just want to kick them out.
Yeah, but there are a lot of women out there who find themselves in similar situations where their partners are having affairs or they just don't love them anymore or anything like that, and they are having to live with their partner and dealing with all of that thing. Like, they go out and you're like, well, where have they gone? Because you still care about them and you're questioning what they're doing, and it's kind of really difficult to separate that heartbreak and detach and just be like, don't ask questions. Like, they're just a housemate now.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
You can't instantly stop loving someone. Like, even if someone cheats on you tomorrow, you've still got love for them, haven't you? It's like you have to work through that.
Yeah. And I think you also start seeing people through like rose-coloured glasses as well. And like, because I know definitely I would look back and I'd be like, oh, but he was so lovely then. And then we did this and that was really lovely as well. And, you know, in reality, perhaps there were a lot of like dark moments in our relationship. So it's hard to sort of switch off those feelings that you might have for them and how you see them.
I think I'm absolutely insane because I would have made it so untenable for him to say, like,
I probably reacted in like the weakest way possible.
No,
it's strength
and gracious and strong.
I think I was just so like, oh my gosh, I can't lose this man. Like he is my everything, and my world, and my kids, and I can't break our family up, because I was from a broken family. Like my parents divorced when I was quite young, and I hated that. I hated that my mum and dad weren't together. And I was like, one thing I'd always said was I never wanted that for my children.
Yeah.
And there it was happening right in front of me. And so I did like the opposite to, you know, cursing him and everything else. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I neglected you. This is why you did it.
Oh,
but you know,
you're so lovely.
Yeah. But I'd be like, oh, well, how can I make this better? Right. I'm going to be I'm going to be better at this. I'm going to make sure he's got dinner when he gets home every day. Yeah. I'm going to make sure that, you know, I'm paying him more attention and making sure the children only sleep in their beds all night long and they don't come in bed with us, and rebuild our relationship and plan dates and go places. But the reality was like, it wasn't any of those things that I needed to change. It wasn't about me. It was completely about him. Yeah. And he did say in the end that what he would do is one day he would be at home, and when he was at home, he was daddy. And he was in the role of being like, you know, this is my family life. And he said he would walk out the door and go to work, and that's when he would then switch it all off and he would be himself, but also with her.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I like respect the strength to be calm, because I just don't know what I would do. I think it would be bad for everyone. Yeah. Like, it'd be very bad.
During that 6 months, you recognised, actually, this isn't worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I started to find me again. Like I think also in the time when I first found out, I just had a baby. I was really overwhelmed. He also had just been promoted at work, so he wasn't at home anyway, but then on top of what else he was doing. But so he wasn't at home, but I was really overwhelmed. I was trying to be self-employed because I was also doing like my Instagram stuff at that point as well. And I was looking after both the children and running a house, and it was a much bigger house than we'd had previously. And it was just a bit like, oh, there's so much going on. And I'd kind of forgotten like perhaps who I was. Yeah. So when this all then started and I started blaming myself and being like, well, it's because, you know, I've let myself go, I've had a baby and I've put weight on and all these things, I was like, right, I'm going to go to the gym. Like, so one of my friends recommended like a gym to me, and it's sort of like a PT gym. It's quite small, family community. And I really threw myself into that. And slowly but surely, when you start mixing with new people and you start kind of like seeing different characters and dynamics.
You remember you're a baddie.
Yeah. Do you know what? I did.
Yeah, good.
And I like lost the weight. I got myself really fit. And I was like, God, I feel really good about myself. This is great. Like, I don't think I've ever looked so good in all my life. And I thought, and then I think I went on a holiday with my family. I went away with my sister and my brother. I remember laying on this like sun lounger on a cruise ship, and they were just like, you need to get that man out of your house. They were like, in order for you to take that next step, you have to kick him out of your house. And my sister, I'm sure she won't mind me saying, she had also just broken up with her long-term boyfriend too. And she said the best thing she ever did was like getting him out, because it meant that she could then breathe. So I got home from that holiday and I just walked into the house and I was like, you have to go. And he was like, oh, right. I was like, you actually really do need to go, like, because I need to move on and get over this. Like, I'm in a place now where I feel really good about myself and I don't want you in it anymore.
Love that for you.
And your hands and your body's banging.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh.
I'm just standing there like, see ya.
Yes, I love that for you.
Yeah. I mean, naturally, if there's more unhinged things that I probably did after that, but in that moment, I was powerful in that moment. And that was the first time I was actually probably really powerful and took back control of the situation and stopped blaming myself. Yeah.
Drops mic. Love it.
Yeah. Yes. It's hard to get to that point though. It really is, I think.
But you will get there. And I think that's a good thing for everyone to hear. We don't know how long it's going to take.
No.
but you will get there. But it's
Yeah.
about putting yourself first, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I think when you were like a new mum, a young mum, like your baby was 6 months old.
Yeah.
We're so vulnerable after having children, and everything changes, our body, our hormones.
Yeah.
It takes at least 1 year for your hormones to go back to what they were. There's a lot going on. So I think you have to give yourself grace
Yeah.
and know that even if it's not going to happen instantly, it will happen and you will rise.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
here you are.
And here I am today.
Yeah.
Doing this really cool thing, right? If I could have told past me that this is where I'd be sitting today, I don't think she'd believe me. I think she'd be like, no, don't be silly.
When you shared about the betrayal, what was going through your mind at the time?
that first time.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
first time.
So I had actually been sharing kind of like that I was a single mum for probably about 6 months before this.
Okay.
And I had done sort of empowering videos of, feeling better about yourself and things like that. And it was when the house, our family home finally sold, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say exactly what happened. And I had been so nice throughout this whole sort of situation and everything else and been very accommodating.
Gracious.
Yes, that's a good word. That's how I would describe it. I was very gracious. And so I just put this video together and it was just really simple. I didn't speak. I didn't say anything. It was just sort of one image where I said this is the house where I found out about the affair.
Ooh.
And then I said but this is also the house where I grew and I got to know myself better and all these things. But that one line of this is where I found out about the affair, it just went viral instantly. It was almost like my audience were waiting for that moment where I was going to say what actually happened.
Yeah.
And they just went crazy for it. And suddenly you're like, it's gone viral. And then the next one I then created was he cheated, so I bought a house. And that then was the empowering moment where women were like, yes, girl, this is brilliant that you've done this. So I was very nervous sharing it. I wasn't sure how it was going to be received. I didn't know if people would be like, oh, I roll, she's airing her dirty laundry on the internet.
No, we love it.
But
everyone loves
they
it.
loved it. They loved it. I think
Everyone's nosy as well,
people love the gossip. They love the gossip.
And also, I love that you didn't use too many words. It wasn't too much. It was just enough to almost tease not even tease. You just said it outright.
It's the fact.
It was the facts, but in a really subtle way.
Yeah.
I love
in
that.
a classy way, actually.
Classy way. Yeah.
I do try and maintain with all of my videos because, I could get down into the nitty gritty, dirty details on things, but it's you've got to maintain that level of classiness. And I always think, I might use a clickbait title where it's kind of he cheated, so I did this, or he had an affair. But mainly the story that I'm trying to share is, so then this is what I did after that.
Yeah, it's not about him.
It's not about him. And that's the bit that I try to stand by. And some people don't necessarily see that and they're like, oh, you're just being passive aggressive or whatever else. I'm not.
It's not passive.
I'm just trying to. Yeah. It's you're bitter. I'm not.
Not at all.
No. But I think it's just, I'm just there just trying to share my story to help other women.
Yeah.
That's all it really is.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
And here you are. And
Here I am.
we're relying on you here for our dilemma. So are you ready?
I'm ready for the dilemma. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Hi, ladies. I'm really struggling with something and I'd love to know what you think. My ex and I have 2 children together, 7 and 4. And while co-parenting hasn't always been easy, I've always tried to keep things respectful for the kids' sake. But now that he's settled into a serious relationship with his new partner, it's like I've suddenly got 2 people telling me how to raise my kids. He's constantly critiquing my parenting, what they eat, what they wear, what time they go to bed, what they're allowed to watch. And now his partner has started chiming in too, messaging him with suggestions. I don't want to feel like I'm being monitored or managed from another household. I understand parenting takes communication, but where's the line between teamwork and control? How do I stay open for the sake of co-parenting without giving up my authority as their mother? And how do I stop this from turning into a power struggle when all I want is peace for the kids?
It's a tricky one. I have a lot of questions on that.
There's a lot of questions. Should we break it down a little bit?
Yeah.
So she's broken up with her partner. She's got kids. They're 7 and 4. It sounded like co-parenting was going okay, but now he's in a serious relationship. She's getting a lot of questions around how she parents from him and his new partner.
I mean, it kind of sounds like the new partner's come in and she's questioning things, which then leaves me questioning, does she have children already? Because she might already have a routine with her own children that she's is like, you know, this is a great way to parent, that she's trying to then enforce into their lives. But everything always changes when there's a new partner involved, I think. And gosh, I don't know. Is it, what do you do? You might know.
I don't know, but I think that the new partner is out of line. Maybe not for making this, actually, hold on, let me take that back. Not necessarily that the new partner is out of line, but I think her ex shouldn't be framing things as, we think this.
Yeah.
He should frame it as, I think this, even if he is being influenced or if suggestions are coming from the new partner, because that dynamic just, it's going to put your nose out of joint. That this new person is coming into your life and telling you how to parent your children.
100%.
Yeah.
I think, like, listen, as parents, we're always learning and we're always growing and things are always changing. But to hear that from your partner and your ex and his new partner, you're going to get your back up straight away, aren't you?
Yeah.
And also, you don't want to be picked apart. I think there's she can't be doing everything wrong. No. And at one time, they probably would have agreed because she would have been parenting with him. Yeah. So at some stage, unless she's drastically changed her parenting styles, it was probably how they were parenting together before when they were a couple.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting bit. It's like, from what it sounds like, there wasn't a problem before. So why is there now a problem with the way that she's parenting or how he was parenting previously? And I think one of the key things is sort of looking at it and saying, well, when the children are at your house, that's how you can parent. But when they're at my house, this is how I would like to parent.
Right. And I can hear Scylla, I can hear Scylla, who talks about parenting styles all the time, saying children adapt to different parenting styles. And you can do that. You can have different styles across different homes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's okay. And then that's okay. That's the main thing, is like, that's okay. Like, it's, even if the children don't adapt, it's what suits your lifestyle. Yeah. Like, you know, we don't know, does she work, does she have a full-time job, and does she not get home with the kids until, you know, 6:30 at night, and it's all a bit of a rush, and so the kids are going to bed a bit later. But on the flip side, there's now a family over here, or, you know, her ex has got a new partner, so there's two parents. So that dynamic changes. Are they then picking the kids up from school, having tea earlier, which means they can go to bed earlier? Yeah. We don't know these things. But I think ultimately it's all about communicating with one another in like an effective way, and having like those doors open for that communication to say, you know, how about if we try this, or we don't know if that is, I had that rumbling, made me lose my train of thought because it was rumbling so loud.
I was trying to like go like that, but it wasn't
a loud rumble.
Guys, I've eaten breakfast and my belly's still rumbling, so how awkward.
Just making sure that there's like that open channel of communication with one another. And I think for me, honestly, the biggest question is, why is there a sudden shift? That is what I would want to say to her, like, but why? And you can't blame it all on the new like stepmom coming into the situation. Yeah. But it does seem that that is kind of what's happening here, is that she's gone, actually, well, I think that the children should be doing this. Yeah. And in some ways, the dad needs to step up and say, well, actually, this really worked quite well for us before. Yeah. Yeah. And it's so hard because there's so many eventualities in here. Like, what does she say? Like, what they're eating, what clothes they're wearing, and all these things.
What time they're going to bed.
I mean, these are all things that I'm sure me and my ex do very differently. Like, when the girls come back from his house, I'm sort of like, what are you wearing? But I'm not going to judge him on that.
Wouldn't
like
you?
that. No.
And also like boundaries.
You're really good, aren't you?
Yeah, you are really
I would
good.
be judging. Is it because I'm not in that situation at the moment? And so I'm seeing it from like how I would at. Maybe you're in it, you know that it's not worth having disagreement over what the kids are wearing. Yeah. But right now I would think, why are you putting my kids in that?
Yeah. I mean, to me, I look at it and I'm like, they're coming home and they're happy. Yeah. And that is a priority for me. I'm like, if they're happy and they've had a really nice time at daddy's house, I'm good with that. Yeah. I'm fine. Yeah. And, you know, my youngest always comes back with like really amazing hair because like his partner, who was the mistress.
Hang on a minute. Yeah. You can't just drop that in there.
Yeah, so he's still with her.
No way.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going to have to
children.
Yeah.
We're going to have to cut the dilemma for a minute. I'm really sorry, viewers.
You are a strong
You're
woman.
a brave. You're so sorry.
Oh gosh.
So
opened a can of worms on it.
Sorry.
I can't get my words out because that.
She's speechless.
No, because I'm just like, wow. I think about me and that's the only way I can kind of relate. I think about now, you know, your partner has an affair and then your kids she's really good at doing hair, better than me.
Don't touch my festival. Don't touch her hair.
Hands off.
Can you just, how did you get to this point? Do the children know the situations? Do the children know what happened?
My oldest does. She heard us arguing one day about it. But I think the youngest doesn't understand at all, but she likes her. And so I go with her, like they're happy when they're around her and they like her. So they live together, and the children go and spend time with both of them. They just went on holiday with them both, actually.
Do you meditate? Are you religious?
Do you know what?
Where does this strength come from?
There's this song, and it's like, it isn't love, it isn't hate, it's just indifference. And that is exactly where I would say I'm at with it. I'm just like, whatever.
That's a powerful
whatever.
person.
It's sort of like,
he doesn't have control over you.
No control at all. And I spent so much of my time being controlled by that situation and it affecting my emotional stability, that I was like, do you know, I just don't care anymore.
But how did you get to this point? So what changed to when you're, it was controlling you, to now it's indifferent to you?
I think I just worked on myself, and because I've worked so hard on myself, like I've read all the books and watched all the TikToks and everything that's available, and I just think, whatever, like I can't be bothered to put that energy into focusing on them. Like, they don't deserve my energy is how I kind of look at it. And sometimes maybe there's like little things, like, they bought a house recently and I was a bit like, oh great, like that's annoyed me. But am I going to let that affect my whole day? No, I'm not. Like, I've got other things to go and get on with. Like, I'm just busy in my own world. And I think it's when you, it's quite a nice place to be in. It's quite hard. And I know a lot of people are not there. But I just think it's just not worth it. You're not going to change it. You can't control other people.
I'm just loving your energy. This is what we need. This energy. We need this. We need this good energy.
It's very relaxed.
So, it is.
Yeah.
Chill.
You're just rising above. Because you know your worth.
Yeah.
But hang on a minute. Rewind. So
Going
back.
Yeah.
Do you have to communicate with the new stepmom in regards to the children, and how is that?
Well, I don't have to communicate about it. I don't speak to her at all now. At Christmas time, I did send her like a small gift and a card just to say, You're too nice. I know, I'm too nice. What? Yeah. I know.
Good gift, bitch.
But do you know something? Like, she is honestly so lovely with my kids. Like,
okay.
And with the kids. I mean, I'm not saying it as a person. Yeah.
She's starting to hate you. I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm not.
Isn't this the dream scenario for everyone? Wouldn't it just be nice if there was just peace with everyone?
I advocate for this all the time, and when it's actually here in front of me, I'm like, oh.
No,
Every week
she's like, just if everyone could just be more
just
mature and be so nice. And then here we are, mature, nice, lovely, and you're about to walk out. No, it's because
I'm sorry that my niceness offends you so much.
No, it doesn't. I think you are one of the most spectacular people. But you said her a gift at Christmas, but you don't speak now. So I want to know what happened.
So I sent her a gift at Christmas, wrote her a really nice card, said thank you so much for all of the lovely care that she gives the children, because, she does a great job.
Yeah.
And then we were sort of somewhat friendly, having chats. She thanked me, etc., etc. And then obviously I then dropped the bombshell on social media, like, he had an affair. Oh. Boom. And suddenly that relationship starts changing slightly, doesn't it? Like, and then I did a video where it was like, would you let your ex invite his mistress to your daughter's birthday party?
You're not as kind and sweet as you make out. You know what you're doing. I love it.
Honestly, though, if you watch that video, like, I did say loads of really nice things about her. I did say, it was just a question, would you? And it was I was like, she's really lovely with the kids. Like, my youngest daughter adores her. She thinks she's great. She's always saying, oh, so-and-so did this today, and like, we did this together. And I'm like, oh, great, that's so nice. But she's sort of like...
But she's still a mistress.
Yeah, she's not. She's his girlfriend.
She's his girlfriend now, but she was still a mistress and she broke up.
I refer to her as the mistress because it's easier that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, this is really hard, isn't it? Because if your kids are
phenomenal,
it's like battling with your person. It's just making me laugh.
Amazing.
It's like battling with your personal feelings. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, we're just having a moment.
Sorry.
Oh, I missed the moment. I'm so sorry. What was the moment?
I was just saying she's amazing, and I love
No, you
her.
are amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I try.
Yeah, I just can't believe it, to be honest with you. And you're doing so well. I aspire, if that was ever to happen to me,
God
I could
forbid.
have this level of calm, like this level of just rising above because I know my worth. But it's like battling with your feelings over your children's, isn't it? Because actually, if she makes your daughter really, really happy and you know that she's a good influence, the parent in you and the mum in you will respect that over the wife in you. Does that make sense? Because at the end of the day, our children's happiness is our priority, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But it must be hard to think like that and actually do the right thing, because a lot of parents don't. A lot of parents get caught up in, well, you done this to me.
Yeah, caught up in the conflict.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a situation where, like, obviously she did come to this birthday party. And so I'm sort of standing there with my little girl, and she runs over and she's so happy to see her there. Like, she doesn't even care that daddy's there. It's all about her. And, you know, she makes a fuss over her and does a big thing. And that was really hard for me to witness that. But then if I put myself in her shoes, she's walking into a room filled with my friends and people who know what happened.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why is she here? And sort of, you know, side-eyeing and giving her like dirty looks or comparing her to me or anything else. Like, my sister and I had a bit of a giggle because she was pretty much wearing the same outfit as me that day. And it was like, okay. So we dressed the same too. But it's just as hard for her, I think. And she's a lot younger than me. Like, she's about 10 years younger than me. So I can't imagine what that must feel like to walk into those situations and to, you know, be in the spotlight, so to speak, of everyone sort of eyeing me and her and going, oh, well, what's going to go down here kind of thing. Yeah. And so, but yeah, I don't know. I actually feel sorry for her most of the time. I think it's kind of a situation which, you know, she never wanted either. She just wanted to be with him, but he happened to have a family.
And he lied to her.
She was lied to and manipulated as well. And I just think at the end of the day, the only thing I could ever ask for is for her to be nice to my children. Yeah. And I've said previously, like, you know, there's a stigma surrounding stepmoms, right? It's kind of like they're wicked witches. It's from the, you know, Disney movies make that vision come like sort of happen in your brain. It's like, oh God, you're a stepmom, like you must be awful to your like stepchildren. But she's not like that. Like, she's loving and she's caring and she's there for them and she enjoys them and they enjoy spending time with her too.
So out of a absolutely horrific situation for you and the breaking up of the family, that is the best outcome that you could wish for. That your children are happy, that she cares about them, and you are a braver woman than a lot of us. And I think you've got to put some respect on your name. Seriously.
100%.
I think I actually learned so much of this from my mum. So my mum used to do this with my dad. Like, when they separated, like my mum found someone new and left my dad. And my mum would always invite my dad round for birthdays, Christmas, whatever it may be. And like, we would sit at the table with like my mum's new partner and my dad and then us all having Christmas dinner. And, you know, at that moment in time, I perhaps didn't realise how difficult that was for both my parents. And I said, sort of, when my ex and I broke up, I said to him, like, I really want to make sure that we maintain that relationship where we can sit and have Christmas dinner together, because that would mean so much to the children, that their Christmas isn't split in half and they get to see both their mummy and their daddy on the same day, and also showing, you know, good, positive relationships. Yeah. Because it's so, like, hating someone requires so much energy, but being nice requires less. Like, it's so easy.
But does spending your Christmas with him make you happy?
I don't spend Christmas.
Oh, you don't do it?
No, he didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it?
Yeah, I think it was because he was with her sort of straight away after moving out. And I don't think she wanted that. I think she found that difficult.
Because there's got to be a level of like your own happiness as well. I know we do everything for the children, but like, you've also got to enjoy Christmas.
Yeah, it would make no difference to me if he was there.
Wouldn't it?
No, I just don't care.
But does it make you happy though? So you're going to have the Christmas that makes you happy with him there?
I don't know. I haven't experienced it.
Yeah.
I mean, he came round the house on the first Christmas in the morning, and I was happy to see the girls happy.
Yeah.
It didn't really affect me. It was just sort of like, it was just nice. It was nice to maybe have that family moment for the kids on a special day in the year. But yeah, it just didn't, I don't know. I feel very detached from it all. I didn't really care. I was like, if the girls are happy, I'm happy. That's mainly what I go with.
So empowered. You're so empowered.
I try.
Yeah. Wow. Just need some of that. Bottle that up and sell it. You need to start. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Because right, we need to get back to the dilemma. Sorry. You dropped a little bit of a bomb and I could not go into that.
And then we went
so the dilemma. What advice are we giving? What would you do now if your ex-partner's girlfriend started giving you advice on how to parent? How would you feel?
I would just speak to my ex directly and I would say to him, we are the parents here. There are children. And like, as much as I appreciate what she's saying, the conversation needs to happen between you and I on what we're going to do. And there's, potential that you find a middle ground on like clothing, bedtimes, whatever it might be. But it's just that it is that communication with one another, or perhaps saying to him, you can do that at your house, but this is what I'm going to do here.
Yeah.
And it's tricky because you need to look at the welfare of the children. Like, are they going to bed too late? Is that maybe a problem that's upsetting them? But it does feel like an element of control in some way. But it's also just making sure like that the children are safe and well at the same time. It's quite tricky.
It's definitely given control. And if she's uncomfortable with it and she does feel that her parenting is fine, and she doesn't need this additional input, I think nipping it in the bud and being like, this is my boundary. I don't want to hear any more advice from you guys. If you have a concern, you can raise it, but this is out of line and this is my boundary. But she's more than within her rights to do that.
Do you think that stepmums or new girlfriends have a say in regards to anything that goes on with the children?
No.
Sorry. I don't know.
Hold on. When I say have a say, like when they're in your space and your domain, then yes, you have a say, but you don't have a say as to how the biological parent is raising the children unless there's a safety, safeguarding concern, welfare concern. Anything else is none of your business. And you need to, I think, back up.
So within your own house with your partner, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do you think, what are your thoughts on sort of, I don't know, not punishing the children, but stepping in and saying to them or telling them off, essentially? Can a step parent do that?
So we've touched on this before.
I think it all depends on the setup and the situation and what the biological parent allows you to do. So say, for example, the stepmom is with the dad and he allows it. Is that right? You would think, no, I can tell by look at her little face. You would say no, wouldn't you?
I do think that if my girls came home and said to me, we got told off today by her, I don't think I'd like that very much.
But how can you expect her to, she loves them, plays with them, does their hair, but then can't tell them off when they're being naughty?
I'm sure she has told them off for things in the past, but I think if she was like really telling them off about something, and I'd probably question and say, well, what did Daddy say? Did Daddy step in? And I would hope in that moment that Daddy had stepped in and he supported her in some way with what she was saying and backed it up, because I would struggle looking at it as her just like disciplining them for something that he perhaps hadn't witnessed.
Yeah. See, I'm not sure I'm in agreement on this one, because I'm come from stepmom's view here. And I'm like, if you're happy for me to do everything but not tell them off when they're naughty, I'm either all or nothing.
Yeah, that's not parenting.
So I can't, you can't cuddle them when they fall over, put a plaster on the leg, do their hair, wash them, and then when they throw a toy at me, say nothing.
Oh, no.
Or if they then do, sorry, that's just an example. If they do this, say nothing, like I should be able to do that. This is me from a stepmom. Yeah. But then me as a biological mum now, and
if somebody else is doing children,
it, I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. So I'm like torn between being a stepmom and a biological mum. Like it's hard, but I can kind of see it from a stepmom's perspective here, that it's really hard to find the balance. And it's like when you're all in, you're all in really. It's you don't create, I personally feel like it's hard to create a really strong bond, not strong bond, but respect, when children can know that you're never going to pull them off on anything, because they're probably always they know that, don't they?
But always can draw for the wait till your dad gets home.
Yeah.
Wait till I tell your dad or, you know, your mum, like depending on which parent it is, you can always draw on that. You can't keep children safe without
having some boundaries,
reprimanding them, telling them off, how they're told off, how they're disciplined. That's, you know, she didn't give me any dinner because I was naughty. What? I'm kicking off doors. Do you know what I mean? But
she told me off for stand on the table.
Yeah.
It depends. It's situation specific. You're right. Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's perhaps maybe the level of what you do when you are telling them off. Like, you know, because I'm quite soft in some ways with my kid. I'm not like screaming at them. Yeah. You know me. My oldest daughter always goes, "You're just too nice sometimes, Mummy. You let," like my youngest, like, "You let her get away with everything." And I'm like, no, she is being disciplined, but just in Mummy's way.
Aww.
Like where it's sort of
God, you meet my kids, you might have to shout because you can't get a word in my house. I am not as calm as
not
you.
as calm. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I lose my cool. But it's sort of like I'm just quite gentle in the way that I do it. And I think I would hate for them to be told off, like really shouted at by someone. And I like to think that she's not that type of person, but you never know.
This is coming back to, again, I've got Stiller in the back of my mind, but again, this is coming back to parenting styles, right? And like how you discipline your kids. And that totally makes sense that if you don't shout at your children, why on earth would you let somebody else, a step parent, shout at your kids?
But you've got no control. Or have you as a biological parent? This is what's confusing.
Again, it then draws that line again of if it's happening at their house, is that okay? And if this is how I do it at my house.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's a tricky one.
And sometimes like, is that balance needed? Like, do they need gentle parenting from mum, but when they go to dad's, it's like,
I don't know what their behaviour's
they
like.
toughen up a little bit because it's like they're used to being shouted at and
And this is back to this dilemma. What is okay to happen at other people's houses? Where are the lines drawn without interruption? I think there should be a set of like not rules but standards.
Yes.
That we agree to as parents. For example, you know, the kids don't go to bed past 10 p.m. The children look presentable, blah, blah, blah. And we should agree to these standards and try our best to meet them from each household. And you might let your kid go to bed at 7 and he might let them go to bed at 9, but it's before 10, for example. And, you know, you're not going to leave the house without your hair being done and looking scruffy. It might be to different standards, but that's our family standard. And I feel like that could maybe work.
Yeah, I think that's a really good suggestion.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Having like just having that, it's that communication, isn't it?
Yeah.
It always, every week, our dilemmas come back to, just going to have to communicate. Just going to have to learn how to communicate.
Which is easier said than done.
So much
for some people, because I know they have zero relationship and it's kind of just a drop off and a see you later. But if you can have that communication, it helps a lot.
Yeah. And I think she's saying, you know, how do I stay open without, you know, giving up my authority as a mother? I think it's like they need to just sit down and she probably needs to express how she feels and have a conversation around what's changed. All of this that I was doing seemed to be fine and now it's changed. You're not happy with it.
Yeah.
Let's kind of meet somewhere in the middle. But it's hard. As a mum, I'm very like, this is what I want for my children right here. There's no really deviating away from it. This is what I want. I might find it difficult if I was co-parenting to deviate away from that. Because even now, you know, it's any type of relationship. Like even with a parent that's together, you're going to disagree on certain things in regards to the kids.
Yeah.
How do you, you know?
Do you know what? Yeah. When I think about the situation, I can picture, and maybe this isn't happening, but in my mind, I can picture her on the defensive, constantly defending herself and what she's doing, and her ex and his new partner like, oh yeah, her again. And like this dynamic that they're building where it's almost like not bullying, but like controlling and belittling almost. Like the tone of the dilemma that she's sent in is like she feels like she's having to defend the way that she's parenting. And I don't like that.
The thing is that she might be sensitive as well.
Yeah.
We don't know. The thing is, we all say things and we perceive things from what we're going through, don't we?
Yeah.
So we don't know how they split up, what happened, what he was like in the relationship, how he spoke to her then, how she's taken it now.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of context that's probably missed out of this. So it's hard to grasp what is actually going on because everyone says things from their perspective. But I think she needs to communicate. You need to communicate, find a level of standards if you can, if it's easy to communicate, which it sounds like it is because he's openly saying what he thinks.
Yeah.
So it's about communicating back and hopefully just what is best for the children.
Yeah. And it doesn't even need to be a face-to-face conversation. Like you could just put it in a message and just say, you know, this is how I'm feeling. Perhaps we could look at it. What suggestions do you have?
Yeah.
And she could be like, but these are my suggestions on what I think this is how the children should be treated, etc.
Yeah.
And see if you can find a middle ground which you both agree on. In, you know, because it can be really hard to have these conversations face to face because it can become quite heated because emotions flare quite quickly.
Yeah.
So, and also that way you also have a paper trail of everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can refer back to it and say, well, this is actually what we agreed. So this is what we're doing. But yeah, it's a very tricky one.
And also like it sounds like she's a single parent. So give her a little bit of slack. Like you said, she might be trying to juggle everything and not everything goes to plan every day of the week, does it?
No.
As Jess said, sorry. Go on.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, as Jess said, and a really, really good point that you made, that they're in a 2-parent household and they're trying to dictate to her how she should parent as a single mum. Like already there's a huge imbalance there and that just sounds really unfair.
I know when I'm at home on my own with all the kids, absolute carnage. I'm just hoping to get them to bed and get them fed and hoping for the best really and get through the day.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to ask to always have the standards when you're doing it on your own.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It truly is exhausting. Yeah. And I think it is, it's looking at that like you've got 2 people to like do all the jobs that I'm doing with one person. And you can put the kids to bed easily. In fact, you could have got 2 kids, you can take one each.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm trying to put one to bed and then I'm trying to get the other one to bed.
Yeah.
And, you know, the person who's written in feels the same way.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do it all. So give me some slack or come and help me, you know.
That too.
Offer some help.
Yeah.
Maybe you could, you know, take one of the kids out or just come round and help me put one of them to bed. That would be great.
Such a good counter argument. Every time they make a suggestion, you suggest how they can help you do that and take the weight off of your shoulders.
I mean, it would be really funny. Like they're dictating to you how you should do it. Yeah. Okay, well, just come round and help me then. Yeah. Like, I don't have a problem with that.
That would shut them up ASAP, won't it?
The kids should dress like this. Here's a basket in ASOS that you can buy for the children.
But you got some new clothes. Go buy them and I'll put them in them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's about understanding, like you said, that single parents have got it hard and to give them a little bit of slack sometimes.
Definitely.
Listen, there still should be standards, as in hope the children aren't eating a load of junk constantly.
Yeah.
But if they needed McDonald's on the way home one night, listen, it is what it is. Sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do.
Yeah.
Like you can't, that's especially what I would say. We always got these levels of like wanting to cook for your husband, giving the kids healthy meals, getting them to all their clubs, getting them to bed by 7:30. Everyone looks perfect. It's not reality every day of the week.
No.
Something's got to give every day. And I think that's okay. And it's just about being reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Worse still if the kids are only there on the weekends or something. You know, she's like got the kids all week and then they go to dad's on the weekends and he comes back with all these criticisms. Like, oh gosh.
That's actually a bit that I would love to know about that is how often are they having the children?
Yeah.
Is it a 50-50 split?
Yeah.
Or is it, you know, mum's got them 5 nights of the week?
Yeah.
Everyone's bellies are rumbling.
Everyone's a bit peckish and the bellies are rumbling.
It's like a train of them all going up.
Yeah. Just setting each other off.
Yeah. So I think that's it. It comes down to communication and boundaries, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. The communication is key and also just making sure that you have your boundaries in place. Like my ex and I have boundaries and we do actually communicate very, very well, I like to say, about the children. Like, you know, if there's a problem, we'll message each other. Normally it's something really silly, like she's not been to the toilet today. What do I do? Or whatever. But it's just making sure that I think also like if something is upsetting you and affecting you, that you communicate with them about that. Like I've had a scenario this week where, you know, I've been told that the mistress is saying things to the children about me, you know.
Huh?
Yeah. little comments like mummy doesn't have a real job, or, you know, mummy shouldn't have poured
You
that
can't
spaghetti
drop
on
this
the
in at the end
table.
of the episode.
I'm wrapping it
Jess,
up.
come on.
I'm wrapping it up.
I'll back it. I just want you to know I'll back it. I'll back it. I'll back it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, sorry. Let me finish because I stood up for myself.
Good. Okay. Sorry.
So, you know, the youngest said that to me. This is what she said. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Yep, we'll take that. And then it's sort of like, she asked how it was eating spaghetti off the table. And that was disgusting that you let us do that because it's got plastic in it. And I'm like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it. If you've seen the video, you'll know. But I just very calmly went to my ex and I said, just a quick note. I've heard that, you know, she's been saying stuff to the children. I was like, although I don't particularly care what she thinks of me, I do care that she's saying these things to the kids. Yeah. I am their mother at the end of the day, and they don't need to be hearing those things. And so rather than like, the point of that is that rather than blowing off the handle or arguing with the kids about what's been said and upsetting them and saying, oh, don't listen to her, it's just taking a moment to reflect and go, right, well, this has made me feel a certain way. And there needs to be that boundary in place where it's remembered that I am their mother at the end of the day. And he is their father, and we have to be aligned in some way where it's, you know, if someone's saying something about me and it's causing upset for the children, you need to go and you need to actually protect me and say that's not okay. And, or more importantly, protect the children and say that's not okay to say that to them. And I do think that communication is just so key, and those boundaries of like what you're doing and how you navigate, because it's just a tricky path to take. It really is.
What did he say?
He didn't reply. He never does.
I don't think he's going to like her. I think having come...
Sorry, she's making me laugh.
No, I don't think... I think her true colours are starting to show.
Well, I think he says stuff about me too, so it's okay.
Really?
I just don't agree with saying stuff
to the children.
I think they're sponges. They pick up, they can feel the vibes. It's just unnecessary. We all think stuff about people. Just keep it in. And the children, we always say, over time we'll figure out who's right, who's wrong, who's got what intentions. If your kids eat spaghetti off the table,
and to be honest, the children already know. The children already know, and that's why they're carrying this back to you, because they know she's out of line.
I mean, my 10-year-old comes first to me and she's like, oh, well, this was said. And she tells me stuff all the time. She's like one of these hot gossip girls. Like she is hanging around. If you're talking about anything that you don't want her to know, like, she's like behind the door, like listening. But it was when the 4-year-old said it that I thought, no, that's not okay. How has she heard that? That's not all right. And so that was the boundary for me. It was like, I'll take what the oldest says because I can sort of say to her, well, we know that's not true. But for a 4-year-old to come out and say that is quite a lot. So, I don't know. He's
what a situation. Shameful woman.
Sorry.
She's all right. She's all right.
She's good with the kids.
She's very good with the kids.
Good with the kids.
And that's all we want, isn't it? Because if our kids are happy, we're happy.
Smile and wave.
Okay.
I do every day.
Amazing.
I do every day.
Honestly, you're amazing.
I try.
You are amazing.
Yeah, you're amazing.
I mean, they won't look at it like that because they're like, here she is, airing the day.
Yeah, and they don't matter.
But listen, what you're doing is helping a lot of people. So your vulnerability, being open, showing that things aren't always perfect. That's what people need to hear and see. So we're so grateful for your wisdom, your just calm energy.
Beautiful vibe.
You've got
today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. We're so grateful.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a joy and a good laugh as well. I've enjoyed it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Jess has been incredible. We're all going to be a little bit more patient now. I hope anyway, until my kids come running in here. But that is the aim. That's how I'm going to leave this. So thank you so much for listening and for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, then please remember to hit the subscribe button. We really, really need you to comment, to like, subscribe, because we need to get some more interaction over here. Send in your questions via the Blended Instagram, and we'll be here at 7 a.m. next week. Lots of love. Mwah.